Hello, and sorry, I'm just checking that it was recording. Hello and welcome to my channel. It's Sally. Thank you for joining me. I thought I would come on and do my update video today. So I was kind of like getting carried away, and I thought, right, I've got to get on and just give you a bit of an update really. So I'm not going to go over prompts 1 to 4 because we've done those now. So I'm concentrating on prompts 5 to 8 at the moment. So I've been working on them and I've come a little way. Oh, hang on, no, they're 2, sorry. Hang on a minute, let me find the ones that I've been working on. Sorry, they're all, I thought they were in order, but they're not. Okay, so prompt 5 was merry, kind of like a word prompt really. So merry, jolly, season's greetings. So I've gone for season's greetings, and this is what let's just move that one out of the way because that's what I'm working on at the moment. So this is the one that I've created, just wrote it on and then did a double back stitch. Thought just to give it a little bit of interest, I'm going to mix up the colours. So I kind of put a little bit of gold in there as well. And it's really a simple one actually. I just did some lovely fabrics over the top and put a few squares of fabric on, and then just did the swirls around, and then just the little wash label as the number 5. So that's my 5 prompt. Didn't take too long, and really happy with how that's turned out. Some of them hopefully aren't going to take as long as others because some are taking me several days to do, but this one didn't take too long at all. I really enjoyed stitching that. So that's number 5, prompt number 5. So prompt number 6 is food, mince pies, Christmas pudding, gingerbread man, cinnamon, clothes, hot chocolate, that, you know, whatever you can think of for food. Maybe you've got a favourite trifle would be a nice one. I've gone for, I was showing you, I started to draw it out and then I kind of went, no, I'm going to have a flat bottom, not mince pie, Christmas pudding. So I've gone for a Christmas pudding. Now, most of mine so far have been 10 inches in length. And I thought, well, this one here doesn't need to be 10 inches because if you remember what I said, I kind of worked it out that if I do them all 10 inches, then my roll will end up at 6.5 meters, which is quite long. I don't mind that. I'm going to see how it turns out. But this one here, I didn't really need to do, sorry, my voice got a bit croaky. I didn't really need to do a large one. So this one's kind of like, let's say 7 inches, but obviously some of that, because it's going to be joined onto here, this has got a lovely edge already, so all I'm going to do is going to join that on like that. So we've got a little bit of a swell. I probably should have kind of like off-centered it a little bit and gone over, but that's okay, it doesn't matter. It's going to go like that, and that's how that one's going to join on. And as I say, this is only, what did I say that was about? It's going to end about here, just where those crosses are. So it's going to be that long there. So about 7 inches, this one is. So a little bit shorter. And if I get the chance to do some shorter ones, I will do, just to kind of like not make it so long. So I went for a Christmas pud. And first of all, right, I've got let me just show you I can't remember where I've put my drawing, but I've got my tracing. Drawing somewhere around, can't find it. We'll just go with the tracing. So I traced my design. I went for a flat bottom one, and I was going to do this. In fact, if you look on this side here, you can see how I stitched all the seed stitching down, and then I was going to seed stitch the top as well. But then I thought, no, let's get some kind of like lacy trim. Let me just move it up so you can have a closer look at it. So I've got some lacy trim and kind of like off-centered it. So it's kind of like, can you see how it's sloping a little bit? I thought that looks perfect. So that's what I went with instead. But what I will do is I will put this onto a PDF so that you can have the Christmas pudding design and do it however you want to do it. And I was going cherry on top when I was drawing in the last video, if you saw that. I was thinking, no, it isn't a cherry, is it? It's like a holly leaves and berries. So again, kind of like with the theme, I'm going to keep going back to themes as well, and kind of like, so it all kind of is one harmonious piece, if you like. So again, I've got the little glass beads here, and I've put the little glass beads on. I've done my holly leaves this time I used this gingham check here, and I used a lovely, this was just a plain green actually, and then all I did was, the holly leaves are really simple to draw. I won't draw it on fabric, but let me just grab a piece of paper. So let's do it on the back of this. So all you do is kind of like little scoops like that. And I drew that on the back of the fabric, just freehand, really simple, and then cut them out. So they are different because I did them freehand, and went all the way around with a satin stitch, all the way around there. And then this here, the vein, I just drew this on, and I did a kind of like can you see how it's not straight? It kind of like has a little bit of a curve. Just drew that on and then did that in a double back stitch. And I love how they look, and I love the freshness of the leaves as well. I haven't gone too dark with the leaves. I wanted to keep it quite bright. I haven't ironed this one yet, so you can still see the pen marks on it. They will come off once I iron it. So I've just done some, these are couched on, these crosses. And then I've done some little thread beads in between. And I thought that kind of like copies the shape of the berries. So it's just 3 little berries in between the crosses. I did some swirls here, as I've done on this one here. Again, to that, you know, just going back to my designs. Just did some swirls there. Just did some things here, like these here, just some swirls here. All freehand they were done. And then I thought, now what shall I do for my plate design? I thought I'm going to do my berries again. And then I've done them in green and red, alternate green and red. And I'm sorry, I'm touching them because they feel so nice. I love the texture of fabrics, and just thought, yeah, really happy with that one. So that's number 6 done. So we're on to 7 now, and that's where I was just starting to work on. The one I was just starting to work on, I thought, no, I'm going to stop because I'm going too far ahead of myself, and I wanted just to give you a catch up really. So I've got to do 7 and 8 still on this prompt. So 7 are baubles, ornaments, tinsel, snow globes, twinkle lights, fairy lights. Now I was torn between a snow globe. I'd love to do a snow globe, but I'm going to go for baubles on mine. And then prompt 8 is the carols, and I'm probably going to find, I haven't done it yet, but I'm going to just look out some carols and maybe do some words and do kind of like a similar thing to this maybe, but I may type some of my words as well, but I will show you that in the next video. This is the one I'm working on at the moment, and this is the baubles. So all I've done is I've cut a piece of fabric, this base fabric here, which is 6 inches high. All of mine are 6 inches high, and then I think this is a little bit shorter than the 10 inches. No, it's not. Slightly. No, it's not. It's about the same. So we're going with 10 inches, but that's okay because I'm wanting 3 baubles, and I think that gives me enough space to do 3 baubles. So first of all, what I've done, in fact, I think I've done this a little bit too tight because it's just, can you see how that's pulling up at the edges? I'm not sure whether you can see or not. So I'm just going to take those pins out and just maybe give that, I think I've probably pulled it a little bit too tight. Pop those back in. So this is just a piece of linen here that I had, a scrap of linen, and it doesn't quite fit, as you can see. It was kind of like square, but it is kind of, I must have used it for something else or cut something out, I don't know, but that will be ideal for my centerpiece. And then I've just got some little scraps here. I saw this one here. I love this this kind of like effect here, the holy effect. I don't know whether it's pull thread work or not, I'm not sure. So I've put, whoops a daisy, I've put that one there, and then that looked like, you know, if you've got 3 baubles and they're on strings, that kind of looked like a string. I thought wouldn't that look good if I did that there. So 1 bauble there. Then I've got this piece of fabric here, and I thought I would do, I think I can just, I'm going to go right up to the edge there because that's going to, I'm going to have that's going to go onto there, and then so what I can do is like that. I'm just thinking how they attach all the time as well. So does that give me enough space for a bauble if I use that? I think it does. I could do a long bauble, couldn't I? Yeah, okay, so that's perfect for there. So that's going to go there. I'm just going to grab pins. So I'm just making sure that my top edge and my bottom edge are nice and straight. Out. And I don't want any raw edges on my top and bottom edge. Raw edges at the moment don't matter on the sides because they're going to be joined together, so I don't have to worry too much about that. I just have to be aware that they're going to join, if you like. Okay, so that's that. And then just because this only went so far down, I just thought I'm just going to have this one here. It's the same linen as this one, just down like that. But what will happen is I'll have a bauble here, so you probably won't see most of this anyway. But I'm just thinking, do I need, I don't need, should I just go plain instead then? And then that means I haven't got anything to, oh, that's a nice edge though, that is. I could use that for something else. I'm going to, right, I'm just going to grab my linens and just get a plain, I wonder if that's big enough. It might be big enough. Just a plain linen, because I don't think I need any decoration in this part. But what I do need is a nice edge there. I'm not too worried about that edge because that bubble's going over that, so you won't see this part here. But this part I do need to turn it over. I'm just, yeah. Like that. Oops, but I got caught up. Let's see how much. That's going over there. That's kind of gone over here, but that's okay for now. There. And then what I will do is invisible stitch it all down, which I'm not going to do now. I've shown you how I do that, so I'm not going to show you again. And then what I will do is go along all of these edges here and just, like I've done with this one here, can you see? There's little stitches, just to tie that down. So I will do that with all of the edges. But I'm not going to do that now because that's, you've seen me do it before, you don't need to see me do it again. Right, so now I'm thinking baubles. Okay, so I don't know whether I need, I'm not going to go for paper just yet, I'm going to go for fabrics. Let's choose some fabrics. So I've got my Christmassy fabrics here. I've got a couple of bowls, that's the right word. Now, do I go, I'm just thinking, do I go kind of like, I'm going all red at this moment, but whether I keep with red, I might put a green one in, I'm not sure, but I'm going to keep with red and greens. I think I've got some lovely, I think that might be, finding that too dark myself. You could do stuff at puffs, couldn't you? That would be nice. Oh, there's a nice spotty one. I don't want to go too dark. That would might be nice. Stripy, I don't think there's enough there, but I have got some more. No, I'm not going to go for a stripy bauble. Sorry, I hope you can see. I'm just having a rummage through really and just seeing what catches my eye. Right, let's, no. Right, let's, I was just looking for that other Suffolk puff. Oh, that, you could do a row of Suffolk puffs, couldn't you? I don't think I'm going to this time, but I quite like that idea. Isn't that a lovely one? I'd like to use that somewhere. Right, no for those. Okay, so let's just have a look at what I've pulled out. Thinking that, but the print's quite big on that. I'm going to say no to that one. Quite like that. I'll say no to that one. I like that as well. I think I've used this on the presents, which would not tie in quite nicely, wouldn't it? Take that away. I'm going to take that one away. Can you see how it's kind of like... I'm only doing 3, so I've got to be... So I'm only going to go for 1 stripe or spot, maybe. One of them. 1 deep and 1 light. Yes, okay, so we've kind of got that. I think I'm going... Oh dear. That's nice though, isn't it? You see what I'm doing now? I'm just kind of... playing around. No for that. I think I've done it. I'm just going to go quickly through. I have got that as well. Instead, I've used that already on the present, I think. I like those. I'm dismissing this one because the pattern's so big. I don't think I'll get much of it on. Whereas that one, and I love the colour of that one. I'm going to go for that. Now, do I kind of like go colour-wise like that? I think that's breaking those two up almost. I like it like that, I think. Or like that. Which way? I'm going to go that way. I'm going to go like that. Okay, I think. Right, so we've got our colours. So I'm going to go for a circle. And then I'm just going to grab some paper. If I can find, oh look, there's my Christmas pudding drawing. I've tried this several times to kind of like get the top right and the plate. Okay, so we've got the space here. So circle's easy, isn't it? So we can just go grab something circular. Is that too big? Probably. Grab that one. I've got a circle template somewhere, but like that. That's big enough, do you think? I think a bit bigger. I'll tell you, I'm just going to grab my template and see what, because I've also got an oval template as well. I quite like that there. So it's a tiny bit bigger. And then what I'll do is that one of them will go like that, and then I'll decorate this. I'll put some stitching around it just so it highlights it a little bit, but that's going to be like one of them, or it might go there. That one's probably too big for that. That's the edge, so I'll need a join. So that's going to have the long one. That's going to have the circle maybe, and then there's going to be one inside there as well. So I've got this oval. Quite like that one there. Maybe there. I'm just going to, because I'm just thinking, you know, the kind of like that, isn't it? And then I'll probably have to like that, aren't they? But then there's also the ones, you know, the ones that have got a circle inside, and then it's kind of like a starburst almost, isn't it? So they're kind of, I can't remember what they're called now, but they're kind of like indented. That would be quite nice, actually. I'd quite like to do that with the circle one. So that might need an insert inside. what I'll probably do with this one is I'll probably do half, draw half and see which, yeah, this is the nicer half. Okay, so I've got this one here, and then I'll trace this, and then what I'll do is I'll flip it and put it on the other half of it, just to make it a little bit more equal, because it's hard, isn't it, drawing equal when you've got a design, but something like that. And then, like I say, I will trace it and show you. Like that. Just trying to get it level. It's about, can't be right, can it? It'd be like that. Yeah, no, that's better, doesn't it? Something like that. Oh, I'm just thinking now, do I want them actually coloured, or do I want to do my own designs inside? Do I want them? Because I'm thinking those vintage, but I don't think I want those. Oh dear me. Or do I want something brighter maybe? This one I'm not happy about either. I would prefer that one to be kind of like that. Again, I will do both sides and choose the side that I like best, and then trace it. Like that. There, that should be better, wouldn't it? Then that one will go there. That one will go there, and then that one be in the middle. I think that's kind of like a plan. I'm still not sure about the oval one. I'm going to have to do some research and just Google vintage baubles and see what comes up, and maybe draw a different one from that. But I like the idea of this one here, because these are kind of like brights almost, aren't they? I think I'm going to have to, I don't want to go too bright, but I'm thinking, and then they have like stripes and designs on. Yeah, I think I might have to, yeah, I'm not going to use those fabrics. I want to do some designs inside, and I'm going to be stitching designs inside, I think. I think I'd be happier with that. That one is a question mark. I'm not sure about that one yet. That's not doing it for me, but these two I love. So that's where I'm at the moment. So I'm going to be researching Christmas baubles and then doing some stitching. So I think I'm going to leave you for now. And let me just see, how long have I been going for? Yeah, I've been going for about nearly half an hour. So I will leave it at that, and then I will come back and show you what I've done in my next video. So I hope you're still enjoying doing all of these. Oh, I forgot to mention this one here. Can you remember how I did on the present one? I did the trim, and I've done the trim on that one as well to make it like a tablecloth. So I thought that would be nice as well. I forgot about that. Did that as well, and that was just from an old pillow case. So yep, that's it for now, and I will see you again next time. Keep stitching, keep showing me your pictures in the Facebook group Dotty B Slow Stitching. I'll have a link under this video, Also, don't forget, you can also get inspiration from Christine at Create and Craft with Christine. She's doing her advent calendar, and Paula from Craft Artosaurus is also stitching along doing her version, and I think Kristy from So It's Kristy will also be doing hers soon as well. She's in a retreat at the moment. Spoke to her this morning, and she's having a lovely time there, so I think as soon as she gets back she'll be doing some Christmas stitching as well. So check out their videos. I'll put all links underneath the video, my video, and I will see you again soon. Take care. Bye bye.